Secretary Raimondo, thank you for being here. Thank you both for being here. The Commerce Department has a lot of important rollout responsibilities with the CHIPS and Science Act and the Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment, or the BEAD program. We've talked a lot about that here today. So I hope that you would agree that your department needs to carefully adhere to Congress' intent in both of those laws. Unfortunately, serious concerns are coming to light about this administration's handling of $65 billion going to broadband. Over the summer, the Commerce Department's Inspector General issued an alert stating that Commerce is failing to do basic checks resulting in potential unlawful duplication. Recently, the Wall Street Journal reported that Commerce-funded broadband will cost more to bring broadband to a home than the assessed value of that home. That's Wall Street Journal. And 2 weeks ago, after months of letters from my colleagues and I with concerns that have been ignored, we released a report that found this administration is unlikely to reach all connected Americans with broadband. Now, this is due in large part to this administration's extreme bias against non-fiber technologies like fixed wireless and satellite broadband, and then also its allocation of funding to parts of the country that already have high-speed broadband, like right here in Washington, D.C., unfortunately. And as the report went on to uncover, the Department of Commerce allocated Washington, D.C. more than $547,000 per unserved location. 33% of those locations are at the National Zoo. This is a waste of taxpayer money. I think that most taxpayers would be horrified by the prospect of spending upwards of $100,000 or $200,000 to connect a single location, especially when many of these homes could be connected by an alternative or innovative technologies at an exponentially lower cost to the taxpayer. So question, would it be better for taxpayers to spend $200,000 on a fiber connection to a single home that's worth $50,000? That's $200,000 to connect it, that's the connection fee and cost, to a home worth $50,000? Or would it be better to spend $500 connecting that house to a high-speed satellite?
Thank you, Senator, for your question. First, I want to say the statute provides for 100... Yeah,
let's just go back. Thank you for the elaboration. I know it's end of the day, but if you could just answer, is it better to spend $200,000 on a $50,000 house, or is it better to spend $500 connecting it to satellite?
It depends on the quality.
So you're saying it might be worth spending $200,000 of everyone's taxpayer money to connect to a $50,000 house when you could do it for $500?
Well,
did I hear that correctly, madam?
First of all, this isn't my decision. Your governor and your state will provide a plan. Our job is to make sure that at the end of that plan, every single North Carolinian, regardless of where they live, has high-quality, affordable
I appreciate
internet.
that, but I don't think spending $200,000
doesn't help.
Because here's what's happening. Let me get to the point. Thank you, madam. Would it be worthwhile? And because here's what's actually happening. Would it be worthwhile for taxpayers to spend $200,000 on a fiber connection to a mansion that's worth $5 million?
Nobody says fiber has to be used. And I doubt the mansion
Well, there seems to be a bias towards fiber. That's what's happening. It's happening right now because the Biden administration, it has shunned wireless and satellite alternatives. Further, Biden BEAD rules allow taxpayer subsidies to go towards building fiber to mansions and vacation homes. These rules prohibit states from funding non-fiber projects except in extreme situations. Now, these are extreme situations which you may have begun to elaborate on, but unless they get a waiver from the federal government to do the alternative. So I urge you to eliminate tech bias from your rules and put in sensible limits that would stop subsidizing millionaires. And in my remaining time, Madam Chair, I'd like to mention this report put out by the ranking member, the Red Light Report, which is to stop waste, fraud, and abuse in federal broadband funding, and I'd like to submit it for the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, and I yield back, Madam Chair.